I slightly cheated on my boyfriend, how do I regain his trust and save our relationship? Ooh, this is gonna be juicy. Like, let's get into it. This is cool. I mean, anybody can be saved, but let's get into it. I made a terrible decision and I completely regret it. I've taken some important lessons about boundaries, transparency, and honestly, I think these lessons can help him feel secure and safe with me. To start off, setting boundaries. I got to this point because I didn't see appropriate boundaries. Does that mean that he didn't tell you that he doesn't want you to cheat on him? I don't know if that's a boundary that needs to be set. It's given. It's like self-explanatory. The boundary is like you know, let's keep going. My boyfriend didn't like this guy because he was much older, married, and mostly because he kept flirting with me. I told my boyfriend he needs to be okay with me having guy friends just like I'm okay with him having girlfriends. He told me he's okay with my guy friends but not the one that's constantly flirting with me and that I just met him. Which, looking back on it, is a fair statement and would have avoided this situation. Like, can people of the opposite sex be friends? Well, I think they can, but I feel like more often than not, there's like feelings there. In this case, they're like unspoken feelings because he keeps flirting with her. So, transparency. The guy my boyfriend didn't like is wealthy, which makes sense. He's much older and his wife also makes good money. He invited me out to this really nice restaurant. My boyfriend takes me to nice places too, but mostly on special occasions because of finances. But this guy took me to a nice Michelin star restaurant, and I wasn't transparent to my boyfriend about where and who I was with, which in the future I will be 100% transparent. Celery sauce. I think that's like the bare minimum, man, honestly. I mean, like going with some random guy to a Michelin restaurant and you didn't tell your boyfriend that's a lot of sauce. But hey, we are trying to find the good in everyone. Like, let's keep going. So, the biggest thing is I felt obligated to flat back, and I have to recognize that I'm never obligated to do anything because someone is being nice. After the dinner, which was amazing, we went to this great rooftop bar, got a hookah, and we kissed. Ooh, is he just being nice now? I think, yeah, he was just being nice. He was just being nice. He kissed me. He was just being nice. I mean, like, boundaries also need to have been set with that other man as well. Quite frankly, you shouldn't have even gone on a dinner date with someone who's not your boyfriend. That's a little sauce. That's a little sauce. Like, let's keep going. He wanted to take things further, but I couldn't betray my boyfriend like that. So we just kissed and then he took me home. When my boyfriend asked me about it, I was not the most honest. From this point forward, he gets 100% honesty. I don't know who told my boyfriend, but somehow he knew. I do have it narrowed down because I did a group FaceTime call to tell my friends about what happened, and they were the only ones who knew. I don't know why you are worried about who told them. Why is that a problem? I mean, it's not a problem. You are the problem. It's five different people it could be, and my boyfriend won't tell me who told him about it. Well, that's a list of your worries, quite frankly. But that's the problem for another day. He wanted to break up, but I convinced him to give me time to fix this. The core issue is he says he can't trust me and doesn't want to be in a relationship where he has to doubt if his girlfriend is telling the truth when she says where she's going and who she's with. Or feel the need to play detective and he's not doing that. But he did graciously give me some time to make it right. He said that if I have a way to get him to trust me 100% and can go to sleep while I'm out and be confident that I'm not doing anything, he will take me back. So, anyone, especially people who face similar issues, what do you do to reassure your partner so they could trust you 100% and feel safe? Or what did your partner do? I honestly just think like long term action. like long term proof that you never going to do it again. And you show that with time, repeated effort, not just like, oh, let me just do this one thing and then all of a sudden he will trust me again. Like, trust is earned, but because you could give him her, like, share your location, that's not good enough. Like, I think like repeated efforts to show up for him and to prove that you're trustworthy might make him forgive you eventually and trust you again. Like, you have to be fully honest with him and fully take accountability as well. I mean, in your post it kind of still sounds like you are not entirely taking accountability. Like, it was just being nice, he kissed me in a Michelin star restaurant. A guy like that with that kind of money is taking you to Michelin star restaurant because he wants to put his Michelin star in your restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be okay with the fact that he might never fully trust you again. I know it's sad to say it, but it's true. I mean, it's just a constant thing. It's gonna take time, and you're gonna have to deal with him being like irritated by you. I mean, it's gonna be like, I don't trust you, and you can't get mad because you screwed up. You're the one who effed up first. I mean, there's no like quick things or quick fix for betraying someone's trust. You have to slowly earn it back with action. You also have to realize how kind of messed up this is thoroughly. You can still have friends like that are guys. If there is any other contact, like it was a client, or like I have to go for work, or like something like that, even that, you're gonna be open and honest. But like, there is no context. He was flirting and being nice, and then you thought that I'm gonna go out with to dinner with this guy without my boyfriend, and then being upset about who told him. Like, what the actual f? But like, what the actual f? Like, even in the way that you said, I slightly cheated. Taking accountability means recognizing that kissing another person and going on a date with another person is cheating. It's not slightly cheating. Kissing for sure is cheating. Now let's check the comments because we have like some top slash relevant comments here. So the first comment said, you cheated, not slightly cheated. I think it's important to realize that. To be honest, I'm not sure how someone can get back trust after that, but it can be a lesson for the next relationship. Yeah, even in this day and age, even cheating, like testing, even not like fully being in the same room with another person, we still make effort to emotionally cheat, that is also considered cheating. Actually, physical cheating is cheating 100%, and you not being able to recognize that is still a problem. Second comment said, yikes, OP, you might have been okay with this relationship being done. The case was not the only thing that was messed up. One, you didn't respect your boyfriend's initial concerns. Two, you made a choice to go out to a dinner with someone you knew was interested. A kiss happened. Three, you told your friends about what happened but lied to your boyfriend. Yeah. And like, there's another comment here that says the guy was married as well. So like, you are not only screwing up your relationship, you're screwing up his relationship. It's nice to be like, he had a ring on, it's nothing bad could have happened, we are just flirting and being nice. It's like, I don't think that there is any reason other than business. If you're like with a colleague or like a client or like a collaborator, I don't think there is any reason that should be you're going out to dinner with somebody that, yeah, you barely know. Maybe there is something deeper in this. Maybe you just need more validation. Maybe it's something you need to talk about with your partner and get to the root of why you wanted to do that. Maybe it was lust, which I hope not. But if you truly love your boyfriend, then prove it. Take the steps. I think everyone can be forgiven or something. No matter how bad something is, you can be forgiven over time. You just have to really do the work and understanding why and accepting the consequences. Or maybe you accept that you can't repair this relationship because you broke trust, and you can learn from this and do better next time. And if you really care about this guy, then you let him fly. Like, Honestly, kind of the way that you're writing this, I feel like you are minimizing what you did. You don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. And I think that in order to be forgiven and to hang out with your boyfriend, you need to take accountability. So until you do that, sorry, you are the a-hole. It's not goodbye, but see you later, because we need updates. So you are the air hole. But again, what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I have been sleeping with my biological dad since I was 17. I'm now approaching 30, married, and I still sleep with him. I was raised by my dad alone. I never knew my mom. Apparently, she died during childbirth when she was having me. My dad always used to tell me I looked like my mom, and I could tell from her pictures that he showed me. Growing up and being raised by a single dad was very tough. My dad is a strict type. I wasn't allowed to have friends and all that, just me and my books. He was overly protective of me. One day, everything changed when I had my first period. I was scared and didn't know what to do, as my dad had never really discussed such things with me. It was then that he realized that I was growing up and began to change. I had my first period when I was 14. First, everything was cool, but then he began to make some weird requests, like I should show him my V. Plus, I'm menstruating now, and he wants to make sure everything is okay down there. He began to see my boobs, telling me he was inspecting for any deformities since they are now growing. I wasn't really bothered about it because it was my dad and I didn't see anything wrong. Fast forward, I was now 17 and I had completed senior high school first. I was home all day, all by myself. I had a few friends, but I wasn't allowed to go out or anything. I only saw my friends at church. One day I was on my period and I was having severe cramps. So my dad returned from work and saw me sobbing. I was in pains and he told me this: change up and take a bath. I will never forget those words. So I went ahead to take my bath and I headed to my room. I didn't even bother to dress up. I was just in my towel lying in bed because the pains were still there. My dad came to the room and he came to sit beside my bed. Next thing, he began to touch my thighs and touch my boobs. I didn't understand what was going on and why. He forced himself on me that evening. Just imagine, I was raped during my period. That night, I just wasn't myself. I couldn't believe what had just happened. I don't even remember how I managed to sleep it off. The following morning came and my dad was acting so overly nice. I remember that day. It was the weekend. He took me out and we went for shopping and all that. He told me to keep what had happened the previous day to ourselves. Mind you, I was scared of my dad because of how I was raised and I couldn't tell anyone. Who was I even going to tell? I didn't have a trusted friend nor any relatives I was cool with. And because of the way my dad became so overly nice all of a sudden, it drew me closer to him more. Surprisingly, I didn't really bother about the fact that he had raped me. He was the first man to have been intimate with me. Things took a wrong turn. We continued to have sex. I had developed feelings for my dad now. Like how? It got to some point we had sex every day of the week. I became so addicted to him. For this reason, my dad didn't allow me to For this reason, my dad didn't allow me to purchase university forms for that year. I had basically become his sex mate and he didn't want me to go to school. During that same period, I got pregnant and that was the first of multiple abortions I had for him. The whole abortion thing was another painful experience on its own. I don't even want to talk about it. I went to the university the following year. That's when I met my first boyfriend. Honestly, for some weird reasons, I didn't enjoy having sex with him. I had become so addicted to my dad, and I could leave school for home to spend the weekend and have constant sex with my dad. He was the only man who could satisfy my sexual need. We did all the naughty stuff you could ever imagine. I dated a number of guys during my uni period, but I still slept with my dad all along. One of my boyfriends then became suspicious of us, but I always brushed it off, saying I'm my daddy's girl, so I'm close with him. So within the 4 years in uni, I did two abortions. And let's read that again. And three for him. Oh God, I'm even shaking while typing this. After school, I was dating a certain guy and my dad got to find out. That day, he slapped and beat me and even forced anal sex. He said it was a punishment for dating another man. This intensified. It got to some point we had eggs in his office. I became pregnant for the fourth time. At that point, I was fed up with abortions and wanted to pin it on my then boyfriend. During that time, too, our relationship was shaking because I was trying to avoid him since I was scared of my dad. I tried to make him sleep with me, but for some reasons, we didn't, meaning I had to abort once again. I broke up with him afterward. This period was very hard for me. I had started service and I was lucky to gain employment immediately afterwards. I bounced men left and right. I had made enough money to move out, but I still lived with him because of the sex I enjoyed. I stayed with my dad for a while when I started working. Our neighbors became a bit suspicious of us because we are really close together, and I think one of them even saw us kissing one time. It was best I leave so we don't get caught. I decided to leave the house and rent elsewhere. Because of that, the sex with my dad reduced a bit. I only went to his place during some weekends, but we used to have video calls in and masturbate together. At this point, I was so much into my dad that I didn't want to date any man again or even sleep with any man. It was during this period I met my husband. Funny thing is, I met him in a car while returning home from one of my sexual escapades with my dad. He paid for my fare and we took it from there. We became friends. He was a good man and I enjoyed his ride too. Since we are cool, things were cool between us and one day he asked me to be his girlfriend. Honestly, I didn't want to date him. I didn't want to lose the friendship either. So after thinking about it for some days, I accepted the proposal. But I lied to him that I don't want to have sex before marriage and that I'll keep myself until my husband comes. He was cool with it because apparently he was a virgin himself. We began to date. The only intimacy we had was to kiss. Meanwhile, I was still sleeping with my dad. I had to stop the sex video calls with my dad because I was scared he might go through my phone and see evidence of it. I mean, having long video calls constantly with your dad at all hours. My dad got to know I was dating again and he was angry at me. I told him yes, I was dating, but I wasn't sleeping with my boyfriend. That night, we had a heated argument. It was as if he saw me cheating on him. Again, he beat me up and fucked anal sex on me. I can see that he raped me that evening because I wasn't in the mood for sex. I had a black eye. I had to lie to my boyfriend that I had gotten a pole so he doesn't get suspicious. I got angry at my dad and the sex stopped for some time. I wasn't answering his calls too, nor was I visiting him. One day, I got so horny that I needed a man to satisfy me. So I went there and requested for sex. We had sex the entire night, like two lovers who had missed each other. So then again, the sex resumed, but he got to understand that I had a boyfriend. He was cool with it now. All this while, I made excuses to my boyfriend that my dad wasn't feeling well so I could see him often to have sex. To be honest, I saw my boyfriend as a brother. He was a good man. He treated me well. But I wasn't that attracted to him. I enjoyed his friendship and companionship. He used to tell his friends about me. He told them about the good girl that I am modest, I'm keeping myself for my future husband. I really felt sorry for him. He didn't know what was happening between my dad and I. But I don't blame him because I look real innocent. My boyfriend got to meet my dad and eventually asked for my hand in marriage. But I had a plan to deceive my husband to tell him why I'm not intact down there when we eventually had sex after marriage. I'll tell him that I was a sport girl back in senior high, and because of the vigorous activities, my hairline was stretched. Of course, he would believe me. He really trusted me that much, and he was a bit naive too about this sex thing. So we got married. My plan worked. My husband never got suspicious. But honestly, I've never ever enjoyed sex with him, no matter how he tried. But why bother? Because my dad is always around to satisfy me. I've been pregnant 3 times, and they all have been miscarriages. My first pregnancy, I honestly wasn't sure who was responsible, whether my husband or my dad. Although I lost the baby, some part of me was glad. Fast forward to present day. My husband suspects nothing. The last time I slept with my dad was a month ago. I do all my duties as a responsible wife. He's a good man. The only thing is I'm addicted to sex with my dad, and I can't stop. I don't blame my dad. I don't blame anyone. Because sometimes I even request for the sex myself. I will continue marrying my husband. He's a good man and hope I can give him kids one day. This is my confession. This is not right. This is so not right. And I'm not bringing this here for people to think, oh, it's right to do this with your daughter. It is so not right. And it's so sad that she thinks she cannot blame her dad. He groomed you. He groomed you into being who you are. If that is not right, he messed with your mental health and you need help. Bestie, you need help. That's exactly what you need. But, I don't know. What do you guys think?